Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is on September 18th, 2023. It's on Monday. How are you spending Monday? It is sunny today. How do you like Monday? How do you like Monday? Do you hate Monday? Or do you like Monday? How are you spending Monday? Do you have a work or school today? Or have you got a day off today? Only a subtle spark of the fire can develop into fire. Only a subtle spark can develop into fire. Only faint spark can develop into fire. So please be careful. The earthquakes can create a tsunami. Earthquakes can create tsunami. Heavy rain can cause flooding. Floods. Heavy rain can cause flood. Heavy rain can bring about flood. Heavy rain can bring about cold. Flood. Heavy rain can bring about flood. Heavy rain can bring about flood. Heavy rain can arise flood. Heavy rain can cause 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 flood. Heavy rain can arouse flood. Heavy rain can cause flood. Heavy rain can arouse flood. Heavy rain can arouse flood. Heavy rain can cause flood. Heavy rain can cause flood. Heavy rain can cause flood. The earthquakes can cause a tsunami. The earthquakes can cause tsunami. The earthquake can cause tsunami. The automatic censored door can open without detecting movement, sometimes by accident. The sensor door can open without detecting anything, sometimes by accident, which scares me. The sensor door can open without detecting anything movement by accident sometimes, occasionally, on occasion. Occasionally, the sensor door can open without detecting any movement by accident. The sensor door can open or close without detecting any movement of creature or any other creatures. The producing machine can go wrong occasionally, on occasion. On occasion, the machine can go wrong. The machine sometimes can go out of control. The machine sometimes can go out of control. The shining object in the sky could have been a shooting star. Unidentified flying object. The plane flying above us might be the one my friends are in. The plane flying over us might be the one with our friends. The plane flying above us could be the one with our friends. The plane flying above us might be the one with our friends. The plane flying above us could be the one with our friends. The plane flying above us might be the one, could be the one with our friends. The plane flying over us could be the one with our friends. The plane flying above us could be the one with our friends. The shining object in the sky could have been a shooting star. Did you make a wish 3 times when it disappeared? Did you succeed in making a wish 3 times before the shooting star disappeared? Watermelon might be my best fruit. Watermelon could be the best fruit for me. Watermelon could be the best one for me. Watermelon might be the best fruit for me. Strawberry could be the best fruit for me. Watermelon could be my most favorite fruit. Watermelon could be my most favorite fruit. Studying at home could be better strategy than participating in the party. Sleeping enough would be better strategy. Sleeping enough could be better strategy than studying late at night every day to recover from the tiredness from the previous days. Sleeping enough could be better strategy than studying late at night every day. From healthy perspectives. The gas price could rise up to 200 yen per liter anytime soon. The gas price could rise to 200 yen per liter the gas price, petroleum price, could go up to 200 yen per liter. The petroleum price could boost up to 200 yen per liter. The gas price build up to 200 yen per liter. The gas price could go up to 200 yen per liter anytime soon. My friends could be waiting for me by the time I arrive at the station. My friends could be waiting for me at the station by the time I got there. By the time I get there. By the time I get there, my friends could be waiting for me. The online website could be false, scamming, because all of the prices of the products sold at the online store are super cheap, so it is skeptical, it is doubtful. The website could be scamming because all of the products sold at the store, website store, online store, are incredibly cheap. Like a quarter of the usual prices. The online store could be a fake, fraud, scamming, as all of the prices of the products are super cheap, incredibly cheap, unbelievably cheap. Like they are sold at a quarter of the usual prices. The online store could be fake, fraudulent, scamming, as the prices of the products sold at online store are all unbelievably cheap. For example, the one I want to buy is sold for a quarter of the usual price. I could sleep after eating lunch today because I'm already feeling sleepy. I could fall asleep soon after eating lunch. I could fall asleep at the class after lunch. I could fall asleep at the class after lunch. I could fall asleep at the class after lunch. I could fall asleep at the class after lunch. I could fall asleep at the class after lunch. Peach could be my most favorite fruit. Peach or apple could be my most favorite fruit. Being average and not aiming for higher things could be the most happy life. Being average and not aiming for higher things could be the best, the happiest life. Could be happiest life. I'm not sure, I don't know. Studying could be the luxurious thing in the world. Studying could be the most luxury thing. Spending our time on studying could be the most luxurious thing. Spending our time on studying could be the most luxurious thing. You couldn't have seen my grandfather at the station today. He was always with me today, all day long. You couldn't have seen my grandfather on the street because he was with me all day long at home. You couldn't have got 943 scores on TOEIC test because the scores are the point of the TOEIC test is scored by the 5 points. So your score is incredible. Your score is insane. You cannot have ate all of the menus served in the restaurant because no food fighter could succeed in that. You couldn't have succeeded in eating all of the menu at the food challenge, as no food fighters have ever succeeded in the challenge. You couldn't have eaten all of the menu served at the restaurant at the food fight within the limited time, as no food fighters succeeded in the challenge. You cannot have eaten all of the menu within the limited time at the food challenge, as no food fighters have ever succeeded in the challenge. He couldn't have passed the examination since he hadn't studied at all until the examination date. You cannot have succeeded in persuading your boss to give you 3 days day off suddenly on short notice. You cannot have succeeded in persuading your boss to give you 7 day consecutive day offs on short notice. The entity cannot have gathered such amount of money in a week. The entity must have done illegal things to gather such amount of such amount of money. He cannot have arrived at the school on time because he left the house 30 minutes later than usual. He cannot have approached the school. He cannot have reached the school on time, as he left the house 1 hour later than usual. He couldn't have reached the school. He couldn't have reached the school. He couldn't have reached the school. He cannot have reached the school on time, as he left the house 45 minutes later than usual, because he slept over. The pile of tasks couldn't have been completed by the person in a day. Wrongdoing must have been done. Wrongdoings must have been done. Otherwise, they won't be completed. The heap of tasks couldn't have been done by the person in a day. It's beyond the amount to be done by a person in a day, so wrongdoings must have been done by him. The pile of tasks cannot have been completed by the person in a day, because it is not amount which can be done by a person in a day, so wrongdoings must have been done by him or others. Nobody can master the piece in a day. Nobody can master foreign language in a day. You cannot have mastered the language in a week. You cannot have mastered the foreign language in a week. You cannot have mastered the English in a day. You cannot have mastered the language in a week. You cannot have mastered the foreign language in a week. You couldn't have mastered the foreign language in a week. You couldn't have mastered English in a week. You couldn't have mastered foreign language mastered the foreign language in a week. You couldn't have mastered foreign language in a week. You couldn't have mastered the foreign language in a week. You cannot have mastered foreign language in a week. You couldn't have mastered foreign language in a week. You couldn't have mastered foreign language in a week. You couldn't have mastered foreign language in a week. You cannot have mastered foreign language in a week. Mastered the foreign language in a week. Mastered the foreign language. You couldn't have mastered the foreign language in a week. The pile of tasks cannot have been completed by the person in a day. The heap of tasks couldn't have been completed by the person in a day. You couldn't have succeeded in persuading the arrogant boss to refrain from smoking. You cannot have succeeded in persuading the obstinate, stubborn boss to refrain from complaining. You cannot have bought the bag for 100 yen. You cannot have bought the bag for 100 yen. You couldn't have bought the bag for 100 yen. Or was it on sale? You cannot have bought the ticket for only 10,000 yen. Or was it for sale? Or was it on sale? If it was on sale, I can understand. You cannot have bought the ticket for only 1,000 yen. You couldn't have bought the ticket for only $1, except for sale. You couldn't have bought the ticket for only $1, except for sale. You cannot have bought the ticket for $1. You couldn't have bought the ticket for $1. You cannot have bought the ticket for $1. You cannot have bought the ticket for $1. You couldn't 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 have bought the ticket for $1. You cannot have bought the ticket for $1. Someone could have broken into my house while I was away. Someone might have broken into my room while I was away. Someone could have opened the file without my permission because they are put at a different place. Someone could have eaten some pieces of my sweets because the number obviously decreased. The number has definitely decreased. Someone could have eaten some pieces of my snacks, as the number of the sticks has definitely decreased. Someone could have eaten some pieces of my snacks, as the number has definitely decreased. It could have rained before I noticed because some areas are wet on the road. The cinema could have already finished as some customers are already coming out. The game could have already finished as some customers are already coming out. The game might have finished as some customers are already coming out of the arena. Some audiences could have upset at the remarks delivered by the politician. Some audiences might have upset at the remarks made by the comedian. Some audiences could have upset at the disrespectful remarks made by the politician. The shining object in the sky last night could have been a shooting star. The shining object in the sky could have been unidentified flying object, UFO. The shining object in the sky last night could have been an unidentified flying object, unidentified, 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 unidentified flying object. The shining object in the sky last night could have been an unidentified flying object, UFO. Have you seen UFO, an unidentified flying object? Unidentified flying object. Have you seen an unidentified object? Have you seen an unidentified object? Have you seen an unidentified flying object? Have you seen an unidentified object, flying object? Have you seen an unidentified object? The shining object in the sky last night could have been an unidentified object, an unidentified object, an unidentified flying object. The shining object in the sky last night could have been an unidentified flying object, unidentified flying object, unidentified flying object. If I studied harder, I could have passed examination. If I had studied harder, sacrificing more my precious time to study, I could have passed examination. If I studied 1 year longer, I could have passed examination. I could have passed examination. I could have passed examination. I might have passed examination. The number 1 in the 4 choices could have been the correct answer, but I don't know. I'm not sure until the answer is published next week, next Monday. Entering the car industry after the graduation could have been better choice. Entering IT industry after the graduation could have been better choice. Working in United States could have been better choice after the graduation. Studying abroad during my days in the university could have been better choice. Buying the best product in the appliance could have been the best choice in the long run. Buying the expensive appliance could have been better choice in the long run. The faint sound coming from a distance could have been the ambulance siren. The sound coming from a distance could have been ambulance siren. Ambulance siren. Scheduling what I do on the day could have been better beforehand. Scheduling what to do on the day beforehand could have been better. Scheduling what to do on the day beforehand in advance could have led to the better result. Scheduling what to do in a day in advance could have made it more productive day. If the shop still opened when I passed by the street, I could have bought the product. If the shop had been open when I passed by the shop, I could have bought the product. If the appliance store had been open when I passed by, I could have bought it. If the appliance shop had been open when I passed by, I could have bought it. If the appliance store had been open when I passed by on the street, I could have bought the product. The shining object in the sky last night could have been an unidentified flying object. Unidentified flying object. Unidentified flying object. The shining object in the sky could have been an unidentified flying object. Buying the larger refrigerator might have been better choice in the long run. Buying the one size larger refrigerator may have been better option, better choice. The gas price may rise to 200 yen per liter in the near future, or already in some areas. The petroleum price might rise up to 200 yen per liter. The petroleum price might rise up to 200 yen per liter. The petroleum price might rise up to 200 yen per liter. You can enter the premise as long as you have the ID card. You cannot enter without the ID card, so don't forget to bring the ID card at any cost. The shining object in the sky could have been either a star or an unidentified flying object. The object seen from a distance might be the sky tree. The triangle shape may be Mount Fuji, seen from the window of the plane. The triangle shaped object seen from the window of the plane may be Mount Fuji. Only people related to the business can enter from the exit. Only staff can go through the exit door. Only people concerned. Only people concerning to the project can use the exit door. Only people concerned can enter from the exit door. Examinees can go out of the room from 10 minutes before the finish time. Examinees can go out of the room from 10 minutes before 10 minutes to the finish time of the examination. Examinees can go out of the room for toilet. Examinees can go out of the room either for toilet or leaving at all after finishing solving the questions on the examination. Examinees can go out of the classroom by either by for toilet or leaving for good after finishing solving the questions of the examinations. Examinees can ask some questions when the teacher stop by for questions for answering questions during the test. Examinees can ask some questions to the teacher when he or she visits during the test. Examinees can use a calculator in some tests, but usually nothing is available except for pencil and eraser. In some subjects, in some examinations, students are allowed to use a calculator. People except for staff cannot enter the premise. People except for the staff cannot enter the premises without permission. People except for the staff cannot enter the premises. We cannot enter and go further from the point in order to preserve the endangered species in the sanctuary, living in the sanctuary. The visitors cannot enter beyond the point in order to conserve endangered species living in the sanctuary. Visitors cannot go beyond the point in order to preserve wildlife living in the sanctuary. You may not feel contempt for others. You may not look down on others. You may not look down on others. You may not make light of advice. You may not make little of advice. We may not make light of studying. We may not make light of we may not make light of studying. We may not make light of studying. We may not make little of studying. We may not deprive the children of their dreams. We may not rob children of their dreams. We may not rob children of their dreams. We may not offend others. We may not commit a crime. We may not commit a crime. We may not commit 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 a crime. We may not commit a crime. I was told that I may leave the office as long as I finished the task. I was told that I might go home as long as I finished my work. I was told that I might go and leave the office as long as I finished the task on the desk. We may not commit a crime. We may not commit a crime. We may not commit a crime. You may not commit a crime. You may not commit a crime. You may not be late for the workplace even once. You may not tell a lie as a business person. You may not tell a lie. You may not tell a lie. You may not tell a lie. You mayn't tell a lie. You may 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 not tell a lie. You may not tell a lie. You mustn't tell a lie. You may not tell a lie. You may not tell a lie. You may 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 not 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 tell a lie. You may 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 not 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 make light of advice. You may not make little of advice. You may not make light of studying. You mayn't make light of studying. You mayn't make little of studying. You mayn't make light of studying. You mayn't make light of studying. You mayn't make little of studying. You may not make light of studying. You may not make little of studying. You mayn't make light of studying. You mayn't make light of studying. You mayn't make little of studying. You mayn't commit a crime. You mayn't commit a crime. You mayn't sleep during the class. You mayn't frown at your customers. You may not frown at your customers even if you are angry. Even if you are mad at customers. You may not frown at customers. You mayn't frown at your clients. You may not make light of the natural power. You may not make little of the natural power. Natural power often goes beyond our prediction. Natural power often goes beyond our prediction. We mayn't make light of the natural power. You may not make light of the nature. You may not make little of the nature. You may not eat only what you like. You may eat what you like only. You mayn't eat only what you love. You mayn't eat only what you like. 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 You may not 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 eat only what you like. You mayn't eat only what you like. You may not 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 eat only what you like. You mayn't eat only what you like. You mayn't eat only what you like. You mayn't eat only what you like. You may not use disrespectful words. You mayn't use disrespectful words. You may not use rude words. You mayn't use rude words. You may not use crude words. You mayn't use crude words. You may not make light of your health. You mayn't make little of your health. You may not make light of your health. You mayn't make little of your health. You may not make light of your health. You may not make little of your health. You may not make light of your health. You may not make little of your health. You mayn't make light of your health. You mayn't make light of your health. You mayn't make little of your health. You mayn't make light of your health. You mayn't make little of your health. You may not make light of your health. You may not make light of your health. You may not make light of your health. You may not make little of your health. You mayn't make light 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 of your health. You mayn't make little of your health. You may not sleep during the meeting. You may not sleep during the meeting. You may not spend the company money for your private things. You mayn't spend the company money for your private things. You may not use the company's money for your private things. You mayn't use the company's money for your private things. You may not use the company's money for your private things. You mayn't use the company's money for your private things. You may not commit a crime. You mayn't commit a crime. You may not commit a crime. You may not commit a crime. You mayn't commit a crime. We mustn't commit a crime. We mustn't commit a crime. We must not commit a crime. We must not be late for the destination as a business person. We mustn't be late for the destination as a business person. You mustn't be late for the destination as a business person. You mustn't be late for the destination as a business person. You must not be late for the destination as a business person. You have to be punctual. You must be punctual. You must not be late for the workplace for 3 consecutive days unless you want to be fired. You must not be late for the workplace for 3 consecutive days, for 3 successive days, unless you want to be fired, unless you want to be laid off, dismissed, turned down, kicked you off. If you want to drive your car, you must not drink alcoholic beverage before. If you want to drive your car, you must not drink alcoholic beverage. Okay? The secret must not be leaked at any cost. The secret must not be disclosed, fabricated. leaked. The top secrets must not be leaked. The top secrets must not be leaked. The top secrets must not be leaked. The top secrets must be kept secret. The top secrets must not be leaked at any cost. The private information of all the customers must not be leaked. The customer information must not be leaked. The customer information must not be leaked. The flying object in the sky last night may have been either an unidentified flying object or star. The shining object in the sky last night might have been a star or an unidentified flying object. An unidentified flying object. The shining object in the sky last night may have been either a star or an unidentified flying object. An unidentified flying object. 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 I might have been able to eat one more set of menu, but the time was over. So my record is 3 sets of the menu within 30 minutes. I might have been able to eat one more set of the menu, but the time was over. I could have been able to eat one more set of the menu, but the time was over. I may have been able to eat one more set of the menu, but the time was over. I might have been able to eat one more set of the menu, but the time was over. I may have been to the country during the best season, best timing, when the yen was very strong. Buying the larger size of the refrigerator might have been better choice. Buying one size larger refrigerator may have been the better choice, because I feel it small recently, and we cannot put enough things in the refrigerator. So buying one or two sizes bigger refrigerator may have been better choice. Buying one or two sizes bigger one refrigerator might have been better choice. One or buying a one size or two size larger refrigerator may have been better choice. Might have been better choice. One size or two sizes bigger refrigerator may have been better choice because I feel it's small now. The person in many disguises might have been a celebrity. The person in many disguises may have been a celebrity. The person I saw on the street in many disguises could have been a celebrity. The person in many disguises I saw on the street could have been a celebrity. We shall meet at the regular cafe tomorrow. I will transform you into a chocolate with my magic. The wizard casts a spell, evil spell, on the person, transforming him into a candy. The wizard casts an evil, wicked spell on the lady, turning her into a piece of chocolate. I thought that we should meet at the regular cafe. I thought that we should meet at the regular cafe. Because we always meet at the cafe or kill our time at the usual cafe drinking the coffee. You shall never return home once you enter the haunted house. Once you enter the haunted house, you shall never exit. You shall never exit. Once you enter the haunted house, nobody shall exit. So please be prepared for that. So please be prepared for that. You shall never return home. You shall never return. It is said that once you enter the tunnel, nobody shall exit. Nobody shall return. It is said once you enter the haunted house, nobody shall exit. Nobody shall return. If I have to choose from the three choices, I shall buy the middle one. Middle priced one. If I have to choose from the three choices, I shall choose the most expensive one. If I have to choose from the three choices, I shall choose the most expensive one. If I have to choose from the three choices, I shall choose the least expensive one. Which will be most reasonable. Climbing down the mountain through the same route as we took shall be the best solution, so that we won't lost, so that we get lost, so we won't get lost, so that we won't be lost. Climbing down the mountain through the same route as we climbed up with shall be the best one, so that we won't get lost. In order that we won't get lost. In order that we won't get lost. Climbing down the mountain through the same route as we climbed up with shall be the best one. Best bet. In case we should be lost, for fear that we should be lost, lest we should be lost. In case we should be lost, lest we should be lost, for fear that we should be lost. Tomorrow shall be sunny. Tomorrow shall be sunny. Everything shall be sunny. Everything shall be fine. It is said that everything shall be sunny. Fine. Is your mind sunny today? It is said that everything shall be fine. They say that everything shall be fine in the end. It is said that everything shall be fine. I thought the event should be held at the hall. If it rains, the event shall be held in the hall, and outdoor sports shall be turned into indoor sports like volley and badminton. Either way, the event will be shall be held. If it rains, the sports meeting shall be held in the hall, and the outdoor sports shall be turned into indoor sports, such as volleyball, badminton, basketball, and so on. Hmm. 99% of the audiences expected that the champion should win over the challenger, but on the contrary, the challenger knocked him out, which surprised all of the most of the audiences. 99% of the audiences predicted that the champion should be the challenger. On the contrary, the challenger knocked him out on the second round. I shall stay at home and watch a movie to have a rest. I'm super tired. Exhausted as I was still doing chores for my wife. Exhausted as I was still going to work in order to make ends meet. I shall not go outside today. In part, it is raining and I'm super tired and I'd like to rest my body for tomorrow. Okay, we shall meet at the usual cafe. 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 I thought the event shall take place in the usual university. I predicted that the examination should take place in the university as every year, but it was changed to a smaller venue because the number of examinees decreased too much. I predicted that the examination should take place in the same university as every year, but on the contrary, it was held in a building because the number of examinees decreased. My TOEIC score shall be maybe 900 at the best. And given your English level, your TOEIC score shall be around 600 at the best, at the worst. I shall immediately take a shower as soon as I get home today. I shall take a shower as soon as I get home. On arriving at home, I shall take a shower because I'm super hot. I'd like to change my clothes. As soon as I get home, I shall take a shower. I'm super hot. I'd like to change my clothes and to be relaxed. I'd like to relax as soon as possible, as soon as I can. If it rains, the sports meeting shall be held in the hall, and the outdoor sports shall be changed to the indoor sports. If it rains on the next Sunday, the sports meeting shall be held in the hall, and the outdoor sports shall be changed to the indoor sports. I anticipated that examination should be held in the same university as every year, but on the contrary, it was held in a different building. In the movie, it was predicted that the people should be taking a flying car, but it was not made true yet. In the movie, it was predicted that the people should be driving a flying car. In the movie, it was predicted that the people should be taking a flying car. In the movie, it was predicted that the people should be taking a flying car. I thought that my house should be completed by the end of the year, but it has not completed yet. I thought my new house should be completed. I thought the construction of the building should be completed by the end of the year, but it's not completed yet. Only third of the four, only three-fourths, three-quarter of the projects have been completed. Three-quarters of the projects have been completed. Two-thirds of the projects have been completed. I thought my new house should be constructed by the end of this month, but it's not yet completed yet. Do you think I ought to apply for the job? Ought I to apply for the job? Ought I to apply for the job? You ought not to be late for the destination as a business person. You ought not to be late for the destination as a business person. Ought I to apply for the job offer? Ought I to apply for the job offer? Did you used to play video games a lot, as well as me? Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you!